In every World Cup winning team, there's one player who carries them to the title, but sometimes the actual best player isn't even someone who wins an award. So in this video, we're gonna see who's really the highest rated player from each of the last 8 World Cup winning teams. All to answer one question: who made the best individual performance of the last World Cups? Starting with 1998, when France came into the tournament after not playing in a World Cup for more than a decade. So in the opening match, number 10 Zidane had a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and the game started off tense. Until the 35th minute, Zidane made a great play to win a corner, so he went to take it. Zidane's first assist. After that, their opponent South Africa had no choice but to push forward, which gave him space to control the midfield with several passes that led to a shot. So France won and Zidane finished with a rating of 8.8 on SofaScore. Then in the next match, he kept controlling the game with his passing, but in the second half he lost his head with a stamp on the opponent, earning a red card. Their violent conduct kept him out of the next match and also the following round of 16 game as well. It didn't look like he'd finish as the highest rated player, but when Zidane finally returned in the quarterfinal against Italy, he redeemed himself. 114 touches, 5 passes that led to a shot and 5 dribbles. Even so, the match ended level, it went to penalties and he scored. In the end, France advanced and Zidane finished with a rating of 9.2. Impressive. But in the next match against Croatia, he had much less space to play, ending with a lower rating. Up to that point, it hadn't been a super dominant World Cup for him, so much so that he wasn't even voted among the top 3 players of the tournament. But when the final arrived, everything changed.
Zidane! Lift off for France!
His first goal of the tournament, and after that he scored another header. He also put on a passing masterclass and pulled off several dribbles, finishing with a rating of 9.6. So France won the World Cup and Zidane finished with an average rating of 8.4. But will he end up with the best performance of the last World Cups? Let's find out by going tournament by tournament until 2026. Now, 4 years later, Brazil became world champions, led by 2 legendary players, Ronaldo and Rivaldo. But only one of them could finish with the highest rating. Ronaldo was 25 years old, and in the opening game against Turkey, he already scored a goal, finishing with a rating of 8. Then in the next match, he scored again, but he had very few touches and missed some clear chances, so he only got a 6.9. But he bounced back. In the final group stage match, he was a nightmare for the keeper, with 7 shots and 2 goals scored, rating 9. But while Ronaldo was shining, Rivaldo was doing the same. In the first match, it was him who gave the assist for the goal, and later he also scored from the penalty spot. Then against China, he dictated the game, scored, and won most of his duels, finishing with a rating of 8.4. He even scored in the final group stage match. It was a very close battle between the two. Then, when Brazil reached the round of 16, both stars stepped up again. One goal each, but Rivaldo had twice as many touches and led the team in creating chances, finishing with a rating of 8 versus 7.6. That sent Brazil to the quarterfinals against England. It was a very tough match, where Ronaldo couldn't score but still contributed with his passing. Meanwhile, Rivaldo also had a difficult game, but right before halftime, he received the pass and scored the equalizer, rating of 7.7 versus 7.2. But if Ronaldo didn't score there, when the semi-final came around, he showed up, firing a toe poke into the corner. Meanwhile, Rivaldo had twice as many touches, attempted plenty of shots, and completed 4 dribbles. He was the team's main chance creator again, finishing with a rating of 8.2. So with both of them playing at an elite level, Brazil reached the final against Germany. But it started off as Ronaldo's worst final ever, because he missed 3 clear chances. On top of that, he failed to complete a single dribble. If Brazil lost, he would have gone down as the villain, until he reached the 67th minute.
Tenacity wins it back again. This is Rivaldo. It's been slipped by Kahn. Ronaldo puts Brazil into the lead in the World Cup final.
Then he added another one into the corner. But because of those earlier misses, his final rating wasn't all that high. So adding everything together, Ronaldo finished with an average rating of 7.6, while Rivaldo 7.9. With 5 goals and 1 assist, SofaScore gave him the highest rating on the entire squad. But for now, Zidane is still in the lead. Now, after Brazil's incredible run, 4 years later, the next champion was Italy. and the player who would finish with the highest rating made his mark right from the opening match.
Pirlo has taken up position unnoticed and can drive it in for a sensational goal.
Andrea Pirlo was at his peak at 27 years old, so in Italy's World Cup opener against Ghana, he dominated the midfield, played dangerous passes, and even contributed defensively, finishing with an 8.5. Then in the next match, it felt like he was everywhere, recording 128 touches on the ball, more than anyone else on the pitch. On top of that, he picked up an assist, finishing with another rating above 8. He was unstoppable, and in the following match, he once again dominated the midfield. 118 touches on the ball and an incredible passing accuracy, but no goal contribution. Nobody could stop him. But when the knockout stage began, things got tougher. Against Australia, Italy had a player sent off, leaving Pirlo almost completely isolated. Then in the next match, Italy beat Ukraine, but none of the attacking moves really went through him. It looked like he'd fallen off. Until a semi-final against Germany, when Pirlo stepped up. He was everywhere on the pitch again, recording 130 touches. On top of that, he fired 2 shots on target. But the game stayed level. Until the final minutes of extra time, the ball fell to him for the assist of his life.
Palla tagliata, messa fuori, c'è Pirlo, Pirlo, ancora Pirlo di tacco, tiro, gol! Gol!
A performance that earned Pirlo a rating of 8.5. Then in the final against Zidane's France, he was constantly pressured by the French midfield. But he still managed to provide an assist from a corner and he scored his penalty in the shootout. So adding up all of his ratings, Pirlo finished with the highest average on the entire Italian squad, 7.9. A phenomenal tournament for him, but Zidane still holds the lead. Now 4 years later, Spain won the World Cup, having a deadly midfield duo, Xavi and Iniesta. Right in the opening match against Switzerland, Xavi controlled the midfield with 114 touches on the ball, giving everyone a glimpse of what he was capable of. But in the following matches, Xavi made more mistakes than before, causing his rating to drop a bit. Meanwhile, Iniesta was also putting a very consistent World Cup, with ratings always above 7. Then Spain reached the round of 16, and against Portugal, Xavi showed his brilliance once again. 92 passes, with 8 of them leading to a teammate's shot. Such a dominant performance that, even without a goal or an assist, he still earned an 8.4. The only way to stop Xavi was by playing a physical game, and that's exactly what Paraguay tried in the next match. He had much less pace than usual and was constantly forced into difficult passes, finishing with a lower rating. But just like Pirlo in 2006, in the semi-final against Germany, he stepped up again. Everything Spain did went through him. 124 touches on the ball and 105 passes, the engine of Spain's midfield. Then in the 73rd minute, he went to take a corner.
Xavi's corner. Oh, it's Puyol!
An assist for him, but that game he didn't register a single shot on target, so without attempting any finishes, he ended up with a rating just under 8. Meanwhile, Iniesta was making his impact too, 92 touches against Germany and 1 big chance created. But now there was only 1 match left for this duo, the final against the Netherlands. The Dutch relied heavily on physical play, constantly fouling Spain in midfield. Even so, Xavi won 9 ground duels. On top of that, he was a passing machine, 5 passes that led to a shot and 129 touches on the ball, finishing with yet another rating above 8. Meanwhile, Iniesta scored the winning goal. So combining all of the ratings, surprisingly, both players finished with an average of 7.8. But calculated it precisely, Xavi finished with 7.84, while Iniesta 7.80. The tiniest difference puts Xavi ahead, that's insane. But so far, nobody has managed to surpass Zidane. Now 4 years later, we arrive at the 2014 World Cup, which also featured Xavi and Iniesta, but Spain crashed out in the group stage. At the same time, another player was showing just how good he was. In Germany's opening match against Portugal, this guy stepped up to take a corner.
The height of Hummels! The goal of Hummels!
At 24 years old, Toni Kroos was in his physical prime and in that game had a 96% passing accuracy. But it didn't take many risks, finishing with a rating of 7.5. Then, while many of Germany's players had their ups and downs, Toni Kroos showed incredible consistency. In the next match against Ghana, he got a 7.5. Then a 7.8 in the following game, a 7.7 after that, and a 7.3 against France in the quarterfinals, while also picking up another assist for Hummels. Kroos was having a consistent World Cup, but nothing that dominant, until a semi-final against Brazil, when he delivered a performance that went down in football history. It was a super tense match. Germany had already lost 2 straight semi-finals before this. But in just 11 minutes, Kroos stepped up to take another corner.
First corner. Plenty of height on it. It's gone through. Germany score!
That was already his 3rd assist in the tournament. Then just minutes later, he picked up the ball and played the pass that started the move for another goal. Had it ended there, it would have already been a very good performance. But then the ball fell to him at the edge of the box.
And Germany are looking good for the final on Sunday. They might get another one here. It's 3-0.
And he wasn't done. Just 60 seconds later, he stole the ball, played a quick 1-2 and scored another one. 2 goals and 1 assist. He played a huge role in the historic win and finished with the highest rating of the match, 9.5. But as great as this tournament was being, in the final, one mistake almost threw everything away. In the first half, Kroos tried to head the ball back, but instead sent it straight to Argentina's striker. Luckily for him, it wasn't Messi there, but Higuain, who missed it. Germany was nervous, but after that, Toni Kroos went back controlling the midfield, reaching 128 touches on the ball, more than any other player. For comparison, Messi had 68 touches, literally half as many. Then in extra time, Kroos played a simple pass to Schürrle, which ended up starting the play that led to Germany's winning goal. So adding that performance to all of his other matches, Kroos finished with the highest average on the entire winning squad, 7.9. So far, nobody has managed to beat Zidane. We still have 3 winners left to go. Then 4 years later, Kroos played well again. But he was pretty much the only one, because Germany got eliminated in the group stage. So instead of Germany, the team that started to shine was France. And leading them was the 27-year-old Griezmann. He was at the peak of his career, coming off from winning the Europa League with 2 goals in the final. So he had the responsibility to be the leader of France's attack. Then right in the opening match, he went onto a through ball and was brought down from behind. The referee pointed to the spot and he stepped up to take it.
In a World Cup finals, he has now. It's France 1, Australia 0.
After that, he fired 2 more shots, finishing the match with a rating of 7.8. But in the following games, things got tougher. Against Peru, he played much deeper, so barely threatened the goal. The same thing happened in the next match. Then came the run of 16 against Argentina, and he came out flying. He smashed a free kick off the post and later scored a penalty. But after that, Griezmann started seeing less and less of the ball, completing just 16 passes the entire match. He wasn't being as decisive as people expected, but everything changed in the next game. Early in the first half against Uruguay, he delivered a perfect cross onto Varane's head to score the opener, another assist to his name. Then in the second half, he decided to test the keeper from long range.
Tolisso. Here is Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann to shoot, and it's gone in!
Thanks to the keeper Muslera, he now had 1 goal and 1 assist. And that wasn't all, he won almost every duel on the pitch, earning a rating of 8.7, a phenomenal performance. France then advanced to the semi-final against Belgium in an extremely tough match. But once again, Griezmann stepped up, delivering a perfect cross from Titi to score a header. Thanks to another assist from him, France went to the final. Set pieces were Griezmann's specialty, and in the final he proved that once again he crossed into the box and Mandzukic headed into his own net. Literally an assist for an own goal. But it was a difficult match, and Croatia quickly equalized. Until Griezmann took a corner and the ball struck Perisic's arm. Penalty for France. Once again, the responsibility fell on him, and he scored his 4th goal of the tournament. Later, he even gave a pass to Pogba that led to France's 3rd goal. But while he was decisive, France's game plan also forced him to miss some passes and lose ball possession. Because of that, he finished with a rating below 8. In the end, France became world champions, and Griezmann finished with the highest rating on the entire team, 7.7, ahead of both Pogba and Mbappe. It was becoming hard to imagine anyone beating Zidane's rating. If there was one player who could finally surpass him, it was Lionel Messi at the next World Cup. But in the opening match, Argentina lost 2-1 to Saudi Arabia. It looked like he was headed to another disappointing World Cup, until in the second match against Mexico, Messi stepped up.
Lionel Messi. Messi's hitting all!
He scored the opener. Then late in the game, he played a pass to Enzo Fernandez, who scored an absolute screamer. 1 goal, 1 assist and a rating of 8.2. But that still wasn't enough to catch Zidane. Then came the next match against Poland, where he didn't score but terrorized the defense. 4 shots on target, 97 touches on the ball, and 5 passes that led to a shot, rating of 8.7. With that, Argentina advanced to round of 16, where Messi scored the opener against Australia, but he touched the ball less often in the previous game and had 2 shots on target, rating of 8.4. He was already having an incredible World Cup, but none of it would matter if he didn't deliver against the Netherlands. And that's when Messi showed his class, playing a perfect through ball for Molina to score. Then Argentina won a penalty, and once again Messi did his job by putting the ball into the back of the net. 1 goal and 1 assist. On top of that, over 120 minutes, he barely gave the ball away and was fouled 8 times. Then it went to penalties and Messi scored from the spot, finishing with a rating of 9.2. Now only 2 matches stood between him and the title. Then against Croatia, he got things started by scoring the opener. Until in the second half, Messi gave a super assist to Julian Alvarez to score. But in this match, he had a less intense performance and made a few individual mistakes, finishing with a rating of 7.9. That made the challenge of surpassing Zidane much tougher. Now in the final, he needed to get a rating above 8.5. That was super hard to achieve there, especially considering Messi's previous final, where he had only managed a 6.4 against Germany. But this time, in just 20 minutes, Di Maria suffered a foul inside the area, so Messi stepped up and buried it. Soon after, he helped start the move that led to Argentina's second goal. It looked like a comfortable victory, until Mbappe responded with 2 quick goals, sending the match into extra time. But then Messi stepped up once again.
Lautaro Martinez, Lionel Messi, Fernandez, Martinez, Messi!
2 goals in the final, but then Mbappe struck another time. So the match went to penalties and Messi scored his goal, helping Argentina to win the shootout. On top of scoring twice, Messi also ended with 4 shots on target and an 87% passing accuracy, finishing with a rating of 9.4. With that, he surpassed Zidane with an average rating of 8.5. It looked like the World Cup of his life. But 4 years later, he managed to score even more goals, but he finished as runner-up. So in a controversial way, the best player award ended up going to the champion, Rodri. But did Rodri really deserve that award? Well, to understand how he ended up being Spain's best player, we have to go all the way back to the opening match, where against Cape Verde, he dominated the midfield with 116 passes. He was everywhere in the pitch. On top of that, he gave 3 passes that led to a teammate's shot, earning a rating of 8.6. He controlled the rhythm of the game. And in the next match against Saudi Arabia, it was the same, with 113 passes. Both were masterclasses, but in the following match against Uruguay, he played in a deeper role and wasn't as effective defensively, finishing with a lower rating. It didn't seem like he'd stand out that much, but once the knockout stage arrived, he put on a masterclass. He got over 100 touches in every knockout game, while making a huge impact defensively as well, getting ratings above 7 in every match. He was already very consistent, but in the final against Argentina, it was an almost perfect performance. He completed 101 passes, having a 95% accuracy. And the World Cup final is always tense, so much so that Messi lost possession 16 times, while Rodri lost the ball just 5 times. And he was also a defensive rock, winning 8 ground duels. So Rodri was crucial to Spain's control of the match, finishing with a rating of 8.5. To give you an idea, he averaged 94 passes per game, controlled the midfield, and barely gave the ball away. So even without a goal or direct assist, he finished with the highest rating on the entire squad, 7.8, the same as Xavi in 2010. Now it's official, across the last 8 World Cups, the best individual performance by a winning player belongs to Messi in 2022. It's almost impossible to beat that. So what did you think of this video? If you enjoyed it, I think you're gonna like this one too. Thanks for watching and bye.